Hey YouTube, this is Miss Fancy coming back out with you another video for Let's Talk. All right, how about this? In the last video with Let's Talk, I was asking people a question. Do men think black women are desperate for a relationship? I see I have views from that video, and I see people may not agree with the question, but it was just a question to pose to get your opinion in the video. But I was talking about, from my perspective, the things that occurred in my life that weekend. So it wasn't, what I was talking about in the video wasn't for that topic, that question that I posed. But I did get some feedback. I got somebody that was like, stay in my own lane because there was a thought or whatever the case may be. That's your preference. I don't care about that. All I want to know, do people or do men see black women being desperate in a relationship? Um, you know, I'm not gonna tell you guys my age, but I have been in many relationships, and a lot of things that we as women uh allow in a relationship makes us look desperate to be in the relationship instead of setting boundaries, because that's what this video is about, guys. So that is the title: setting boundaries in your relationship. um you know we don't do that. We do speak on things when it's ill will, or where things have hurt us, or where we feel a certain type of way because of how we're being treated. But with me being single at this time and really looking at my past relationship, um, I can see where I didn't set boundaries. So I'm learning to do those things now. I'm not in a current relationship, but I'm learning to understand that boundaries have to be set, especially emotional boundaries. Because, you're dealing with your feelings and another person's feelings. So you have to say to yourself, what are your boundaries when it's concerning a relationship? That could be a friendship, that could be a romantic relationship, that could be family relationships. What are your boundaries when it's concerning whatever issue or anything of that nature? You know, boundaries do protect your self-esteem. It helps protect certain things in the relationship, where you don't have high certain expectations of how a person's supposed to treat you, because you have your boundaries in place. You know, um, as I said, you know, I went and looked up my notes today in order to tell you guys about emotional boundaries. So we're going to get into what they really are. So emotional boundaries involve separating your feelings from other feelings, violations including taking responsibility for another's feelings, letting another's feelings dictate your own, sacrificing your own needs to please others, blaming others for your problems and accepting responsibility for theirs. Strong boundaries protect your self-esteem and your identity as an individual with the right to make your own choices. So that's what emotional boundaries are. So a lot of times we, as men and women, no particular, uh, we don't set boundaries. We just allow things to happen, or we allow things to upset us or take us to another place, instead of setting boundaries from the beginning with that person to, protect your self-esteem, your ego, and make it for you to make the right choices as you as an individual. So, you know, I think that is number one that we should do in a relationship, in any relationship, is set boundaries. I think then not only that, I think new boundaries come along down the line. But I think the other person has to know not to cross your boundaries, or they have to acknowledge your boundaries. And a lot of times that is difficult in relationships because, as I said before, people want what they want. We all do. We have this thing about us that, we want to be happy, but as well, sometimes we want another person to make us happy, depending on what it is. Some people um, just out here being really, really selfish about themselves and not being considerate or compassionate towards the person that they're dealing with. I think we as a society have a huge problem with that. But, but, at times we can show that compassion. It does come out. So, as long as we take the time out to find about about what our boundaries are, what we're willing to allow, what we're willing to accept, um, at the token of another person's feelings or even our own. You know, um, how does it affect you in the long run? How does it affect you from your day to day living? You know, so because a lot of times we are not aware that we don't have boundaries in certain things, and we allow people to do things to us or hurt us in their emotional state. And a lot of that is abuse. And we don't realize that it is abuse because we think it's just hurt, but it's not. Somebody is emotionally abusing you, mentally, verbally, and we think it's okay. But you have to set boundaries for yourself. And it's okay for you to do so. Even if a person tries to play guilt towards you because you are setting boundaries for yourself, um, that is a no go. So you have to sit internally to figure out what are your boundaries in your emotional life, your mental, and so you can have a happy fulfilled life, so your self-esteem and confidence level can go up. But you got to be mindful, you cannot overstep anyone else's boundaries if they have boundaries for themselves. You have to be mindful of that too. And a lot of times we are so geared into the things that we're doing that we're not being mindful of the other person, that they have boundaries and that they have expectations for themselves as well. So it's a lot of work. You have to put the work in, you have to put the effort in, especially when it comes to relationships, because you have a lot of unhealthy behaviors, you have a lot of unhealthy boundaries, you have a lot of unhealthy outlooks on certain things in life, and especially relationships. We as men and women have that. And I don't know. As I said, I think the best thing for people to do is to take a step back, take a breather, and to evaluate what the situation is at the moment and find the best solution for both parties. And a lot of times we as humans don't do that because we want to be right, we want to be heard, we want our point of view to get across. So that's why a lot of unhealthy things are created. And a lot of times a person is right, and sometimes you have to acknowledge if that person is right. And a lot of times that don't go on either because, as I said, we want to have our point of view go get across. But yes, having boundaries in your relationship early on is a great aspect. Um, it's a good thing to do. Um, you know, but be mindful. A lot of times, don't get caught up in a person's boundaries. Don't get caught up in your own because they can destroy a relationship as well, depending on what boundaries you're setting. You don't want to be emotionally abused, so you have to find out what is healthy boundaries. My boundaries are that I want to take my time. I want someone to allow me to take my time to get to know them, or to get to think about certain things that a person is proposing to me. Allow me that time. And that's a boundary for me. Um, if you keep pushing, then it's a no-go with me, because you're not allowing me to make my choice or my own decision without you pushing what you feel is deemed perfect for the both of us. No, I want to make sure that I'm thinking and pondering about whatever is being brought to my attention, and I need time for that. Um, Another boundary for me is being mindful of my children's or my significant other or whoever I'm dealing with, their point of view, um, and how they're bringing it across, and how is it beneficial for the both of us, And so that takes time to sit and listen. That is a boundary that I have to. I want to be able to um, hear what you're saying, and you keeping it. How can I say it? You keeping it at a healthy kind of thing, and not being verbally abusive or emotionally abusive, and trying to guilt me into something. Um, you know, they're having boundaries when it's concerning my energy. If I am not to par to participate with you that day or have anything, I want a person to respect that I need time to myself. I need time to myself to regenerate. I need time to myself to bring my energy levels back up to where I am, you know, happy and stuff like that. Because we all get to a point where we need time and space to ourselves to allow whatever we're feeling, or allow whatever we may be thinking about, or whatever, to filter through, and we get back to that point where we were prior to that, or move on to the next point in your life and stuff like that. So sometimes you need that time and space away from people, and away from um your businesses and all that stuff, to figure out who you are. And that's the self-care, the self-love. Those are boundaries. You need that time. So I feel like that is important. And sometimes and that's just honoring you. You got to honor yourself and honor what is important to you. And that is a boundary. A lot of people don't honor those things about who other people are, who you are. So, you just have to be mindful of that. And, that's just what it is. Um, let's see. And, you having good boundaries are signs of emotional health. So self-respect and strength. We teach people how to treat us. So that is true. We do teach people how to treat us. And sometimes it hurts to tell someone that you need space, or that you no longer want to deal with them in a certain capacity. But that is a boundary. That is a good boundary for you, because you're taking a step away from either negativity or any kind of abuse a person is displaying towards you. So you're showing them how to treat you. And sometimes a person will get it, and they will apologize and be okay with the boundaries you're setting for yourself, which is a great thing. You know, set high standards for those you surround yourself with. Expect to be treated in the same loving way you treat them. You will soon find yourself surrounded by those who respect you, care about your needs and your feelings, and treat you with kindness. So, you know, I think that the way you do treat other people, you will, exhibit that back, because people do pay attention when someone is good to them, and respecting them, and nurturing to them, and being mindful of who they are. And you do receive it back in other ways. You do receive it back from that person sometimes you don't, because some people don't get that, it is good to have good, healthy boundaries amongst each other. So you need those. Not only that, it should be reciprocated. And that's the thing. A lot of times it is, and a lot of times it isn't. So that's when you have to stand up for what you feel is your boundaries and space. Distance yourself from those things if you no longer want them in your life. Um, yeah. So I just wanted to come on here and speak about having boundaries in a relationship. Do you think that it is a good thing to do so, to have those? So that is the question that I'm posing on Let's Talk today. Just giving you an idea of what boundaries are. And if you have any comments or anything of that nature, please leave them down below in the comment section. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I am a small Black businesswoman. I cater to self-care, self-love. You will see me do power affirmation reads on my channel. You will see me do self-care oracle reads on my channel. You will see me do all sorts of things. I am just giving of myself to someone who may see my video and who may want to just talk. So that's what this video is about. Let's talk. So it is to chat about different life topics, different things dealing with relationships and all that good stuff. So that is the question of Let's Talk today. Do you think boundaries are necessary in relationships? So that could be any type of relationship. So, all right, as I said, leave the comments down below. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Y'all be safe out here with COVID. Please wear your mask, wash your hands. Oh, yeah. If you want some of my nail cuticle oil, go over to fancysoulboutique.bigcartel.com in order to purchase it, because you see my long, pretty nails as well. I have that. That's my business, my skincare line, and for nails too. So with you washing your hands, the water dries them out, and all good stuff. You see my nails are healthy. I do not go to a nail salon. I take care of my own nails. This is all me. So the two products I have over there is the nail cleanser and the nail oil. So yes, so I'm doing a little promotion for my business. But anyway, as I said, if you got any comments towards the question, please comment. Maybe give me a topic for us to do. Let's talk about, or whatever the case may be. But please, please comment, share, like, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Peace.